Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how to use LinkedIn to find new corporate partners. This has been one of my favorite things to talk about. It's super fun. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Randy Molland. I'm a LinkedIn strategist, is sometimes what I call myself. But a lot of my story comes from the corporate world. I used to be a philanthropic consultant, so I used to help businesses go and find nonprofits to donate to. And it was in that journey that I realized that a lot of nonprofits didn't know how to find corporate partners, didn't know how to talk to them, and didn't know how to relate to them. So I started helping a bunch of nonprofits go and find corporate partnerships. And then along the way, my business partner, Mario, has about 55,000 followers on LinkedIn. And we talk to a lot of these nonprofits to say, how are you finding corporate partners? Where are you making, connections? And a lot of them weren't. And we're like, well, we've raised millions of dollars on LinkedIn before. Why don't you do the same? And we started doing some research and we found that very few nonprofits were on LinkedIn. And so we said, we're going to help support the nonprofit sector by teaching them how to use LinkedIn to go find the corporate partners and then teaching them how to partner with them. Today, I'm specifically going to talk about the actual connection with them. So how do you connect to the people? But that's just a little bit of my background. So I've played on both sides. My tagline is bridging the gap between capitalism and philanthropy. And I still work with a lot of businesses, helping them with their philanthropic work, but we also help the nonprofit sector get connected to them. So we're kind of bridging that gap and partnering them together. The Today's agenda is I'm going to help you understand the exact system and process on LinkedIn that has helped thousands of nonprofits raise tens of thousands of dollars. I'll share some examples. Learning the specifics of where to find corporate partners. So how do you actively find them on LinkedIn? How do you communicate and engage with them? And then I'm going to also give you a little bit of time to ask some questions. I talk really fast, guys. It's just part of my nature. I try and slow down, but I get so excited. So bear with me at the end. If you have some questions, let me know. I do have the chat open. So if you drop a question in the chat, I'll try and answer it live as I go through. So a lot of you have already done this. I see so many LinkedIn handles. If some of you are okay with it, we might do a few audits today. I might just pull up your LinkedIn page and just do some audits for you. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. So those of you that put your chat in, your LinkedIn handle in the chat, we might do an audit for you. So quickly, I always like to recap this. What is a corporate partnership? Because I talk a lot about that inside the presentation. Like, why do we look for corporate partners? But it's a strategic, mutually beneficial alliance between a for-profit company and a nonprofit organization where they combined resources, expertise, and goals to achieve shared objectives. Nowhere in there does it say they're an ATM to donate to the nonprofit sector. And Amy, yes, this is being recorded. And will be sent out to you. And so what we try and explain in this first slide is that so many people look at the corporate partner sector and think they're just going to write us a check to get involved with us. But they forget that businesses have a lot more opportunities. Businesses have some of the biggest networks out there that you can partner with. They provide a lot of resources. So even if they don't have money, maybe can they donate services to you? Can they donate products to you? Can they actually, like one of my friends just paid for a VA full time for a nonprofit for a year. And so they just actually hired a VA and just gave it to their nonprofit. That's the kind of stuff that businesses have the capacity to do, a lot different than just your regular donor. So that's why we look at corporate partnerships. To me, the best corporate partnerships are usually people that are donating between like 5 and 30 to 40,000. That's easier accessed capital as opposed to some of the larger corporations where they're looking at maybe getting, they want you to fill out applications and grants and stuff. To me, that is a very different category than what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about kind of the mid-tier corporate partnerships today. So why we like corporate partnerships, I've shared a few things there, but first off, they make higher donations amount. Typically, businesses are incentivized to donate, and they typically have more revenue, so they're more likely to make higher contributions. They're incentivized by tax laws. They're looking for good PR and partnerships. They want to do more good in their brand, and you provide that access for them. And they have a lot of connections to other donors. I raised over $50,000 for a nonprofit organization just by telling my friends about it because I loved it so much. I brought all my friends into it and helped them raise capital with it. So that's also what we want to do. We also want to remember there's different ways to partner. They can put cash up, but they can provide goods and services for you. They can bring marketing or community awareness or engagement or different activities, and they can also volunteer. A lot of corporations are looking for ways to get their team out to volunteer and get involved with you. So, now that we know what we like for corporate partnerships, let's jump into the fun stuff that you all came here to do is to learn why we like LinkedIn and how we use it. So, the first things first, people don't fundraise with corporations, or organizations, they fundraise with humans. So when we start talking about using LinkedIn, we want to use your personal page versus your business page. My business page has it's now got quite a few. This is a little bit older photo, but we have like over 1,000 followers. I'll maybe get a few likes on it. My personal page now has grown a little bit more, but we get a lot more engagement. So when you as an organization are looking to fundraise, if you're posting from your business page, you are missing a huge opportunity. Also, as a business, and I see your organization talking about stuff, it's not as easy for me to access you. It's harder for me to send a message. If you reached out to me, I would think it's kind of like spam on LinkedIn to see something come from your business or from your organization, sorry. And so what we want to see is that who on your team is fundraising and how do we get them set up with a personal LinkedIn page that looks and works like a very functioning tool to help you fundraise. So LinkedIn is very different social media than Instagram or Facebook or other things. It is your professional network. So that's what we want to see here. So we're going to talk about personal pages the entire time today. I don't do much work with business pages because they're not very useful. I will talk about it a little bit when we talk about content, but that's about it. Okay. So here's some LinkedIn metrics for you guys. About 46% of nonprofits are active on LinkedIn compared to 98% who are active on Facebook. So we want to make sure that we're starting to get more of this out there and get that moving. The 250 million business owners that are active and on LinkedIn daily. This is huge, guys. Like, there's no other platform where you can see this metric and data from, which is incredible. We raised $1.4 million in less than 12 months using LinkedIn. We did it for our fundraising for raising capital for a business, but the exact same aspects go into it. And then we booked 397 connection calls in less than 8 months. So when we moved into the nonprofit sector, we came in with no contacts, no reputation, and no support. And in 8 months, we booked 397 calls with nonprofits. So there is, and that's how we built our entire business. So if you have the resources and the time, LinkedIn can be very lucrative for getting in front of people. I'm going to go through a few things of why we like LinkedIn, and then I'm going to go through them a little bit more in depth after. So the reason why we love LinkedIn is for their search functionality. There is no other networking platform that you can search for certain things. So in this one, I searched for CSR managers, and you can see that it brought me the CSR manager for Salesforce. And then when I went into her experience, she manages deploy and execute strategic employee impact programs for 7,500 plus Salesforce employees. If you're looking to partner with a large organization, I can find somebody that runs their CSR programs very easy. So you can also see here, there's a few other ones that are in there. But the search functionality on LinkedIn, hands down, the best of any platform. I can then also go and send them a message really easily. I can just pop into their inbox, send them a connection, and get on their radar faster than a lot of other places. This is also not a social media platform. You don't need to create viral videos. I've never created a viral video in my life, and I've never had to go and create content that is specific around how do I create virality. Now, we can create some viral stuff on it, but that's not what it's built for. It is a business networking platform. So you can actually get a ton of reach without having any photos or videos. So longer written texts are also really encouraged. A lot of people look at this kind of like a blog in some capacity or writing about specifics. So you can see here, one of my posts from a few months ago had over almost 8,000 impressions over the first, I think, like 15 days, which on LinkedIn is pretty good for me. Normally my posts get around 1,500 to 3,000, so this one was almost double or double and a half. So you can do that. No photo, no nothing, just me sharing some stories. Okay, so I need you to reframe your mind that LinkedIn is not social media and that is business networking. You have large organic engagement. So we're starting to see a lot more impressions and member reach from just organic posting. Whereas on maybe Facebook or Instagram, you have to do some paid ads to get some attention. Right now, LinkedIn is really trying to drive people to their platform. They're moving to the paid model, but there's a lot of opportunity right now just in organic content to get some people involved. My business partner has 55,000 followers, and he's getting upwards of like sometimes 300,000 impressions on one post, which is insane in where he's going. There's also a lot of really cool hiring benefits on LinkedIn. If you've never hired with LinkedIn, you can use the hiring profile feature, which you can see on the side here. You can create job postings and attract talent. So you can see down there, I created a lead setter for one of our organizations. We had over 29 applicants for it. So again, I didn't have to hire a recruiter, and I found a lot of people that already were following us, invested in what we were doing. You can find volunteer specifics. I can show you that in our search, but you can actually find people that are wanting to volunteer, and it reduces your recruitment and placement fees. So a lot of really cool hiring benefits on LinkedIn as well. So now let's jump into your profiles. Okay. When we look at a LinkedIn profile, this is what we start thinking about. If you were to go to dinner and you walked into a place like this, what are your first thoughts? In the chat, let me know. What do you think of when you see this first image? When you see diner and all of the shrubbery around it and it's there, what are the first kind of like words that come to mind? Like, there it is. Ew, run down, stay away, horror. Yeah, it's like nervous, neglected, probably abandoned. That's the word I was looking for. Think of your LinkedIn profile the same way. And then when I ask you how many of you would want to join me at this beautiful place to have lunch or get a drink or hang out, what vibes or what feeling do you get when you look at the photo on the right? Put that in the chat. Vibrant, engaging, inviting. Wow, this is some of the most engaging audience I've ever been a part of, guys. This is phenomenal. Thank you for participating. Sometimes it's just crickets. So you guys can see it's fun, it's professional, it's modern, it's exciting. This is your LinkedIn profile. If your profile looks like this, that is how people feel about it. Okay. So we're currently working with Junior Achievement on supporting them with some of their LinkedIn stuff. This is some of the challenges we see. Tim is the president of Junior Achievement USA, doesn't have a profile set up. His development officer doesn't have a profile set up. Their president of their top performing chapter doesn't have a profile set up. This is why I say there's a lot of opportunity in this space right now. Because what we see is that someone that wanted to work with Junior Achievement might look up who's the president of Junior Achievement. And if they see this with all of your team, they think this. They go, maybe they're not present, maybe they're not active. What is our organization doing? Now, if you're a smaller organization and you don't have the credibility of what Junior Achievement does, it's even worse for you. Okay, guys? So we really want to make sure we're putting time into achieving it. So what we did for Tim is we built a banner and made it look like this. So a simple adjustment by just adding your banner can change the whole feel when somebody comes to your page instantly. So we just said something simple here. A logo up above, boundless futures through education, their website, and then a little photo. So now when you come to his page, you know he's with Junior Achievement. Very easy to see. You have a tagline there. You have a website to validate that maybe they've seen it before, and you know that he's in the education sector. And then this is all tied to the colors of their brand. So it's all on brand and all set up. So now that banner, I can make them on Canva in like 3 minutes. So for 3 minutes of time, he is gaining a lot more trust. Now, Tim still hasn't gone and changed his stuff. We're working with them, so don't go look him up because his profile is still not set up. It is part of the challenges we see with some of the larger organizations is that they can't just change their banners instantly. So if you are a large organization, you need to go through your marketing team and all that kind of stuff. I understand, but it's also very important to start getting that done right away. Okay, the second thing about Tim's profile is he didn't have his about page set up. This is what his about page looked like. His specialties, like he talked about his specialties, but what if it said something like this? I've spent my entire career believing that young people rise when someone shows them what is possible. My passion for youth and education started early. And then he started talking about it. And then he talked about his career. And then he talked about what he wanted to do and his mission. If you went to Tim's page and you saw this with this profile, you think he's probably, a lot of those words that we talked about, abandoned, not there, nothing's happening. But when you go and you see this kind of headline or that kind of banner and this kind of about, I know so much about Tim before I've even talked to him or reached out to him that he might be somebody that I want to have a conversation with. Okay. So adding your website to your featured section for more visibility is also great. My goal is to treat my LinkedIn page like a landing page. I want to send people to my programs. So here's an example of somebody that came to our bootcamp. They built a featured section that their organization is Shelter the Homeless. And she had the ability to say, hey, if you want to check out our Shelter the Homeless, visit our website. Or if you want me to come speak, visit my speaking website. So she's pushing people in the direction that she wants them to go. So you can build a featured section, make your photo here. Do not put a description in. Just put your headline there as Shelter the Homeless website. When you click that, it takes you directly to their website. And I'll show you that. I'll show you Josie's profile after because it's very good. So when you're writing your content, so content is one of the other big things. This is where a lot of nonprofits make mistakes, is you as the human just repost everything that your organization talks about. But I don't want to just see a repost. Again, funders fund the people, not the organization. So you as the person need to start getting in touch with your funders on LinkedIn. So imagine this post, instead of him just reposting it, said, when I got into junior achievement, I never knew we'd be partnering with incredible organizations like UPS. This is because of the dedication and hard work of our team. We are excited about this amazing opportunity. All it does is just add some context to my share. It makes me normal. It makes me active. It makes me human and allows people to understand what I'm saying. So instead of just resharing your organization's content, write something about it. What is your opinion? What is your thoughts? And we'll talk a little bit about content in a little bit. So focus less on your likes and more on learning how to write content that builds trust. Some of you might know this amazingly handsome fella, Dan Drucker. He's a part of the Nonprofit Resource Hub. If you are looking for some large support when it comes to corporate partnerships, he is the man. We partner together on a lot of stuff. He's absolutely amazing. But he wrote this incredible post. The doorbell at the door shelter rang. That can only mean one of two things. A generous community member dropped off, and he shares this story that makes you start reading. And you start going through and you're like, I want that next line. I want to see what he's got to say. Now, he didn't get the most engagement here, but he said that this post actually got him quite a bit of DMs on the back end and had a lot of conversations with people. So it's focused less on like how many people liked me and how many people shared me and all this kind of stuff, and start focusing on just writing really good content. A few things to make note of here is that you no longer want to write in paragraphs. Nobody wants to read them. Nobody has the time for it. People look at your post and they ask this simple question: can I read this one line and not feel overwhelmed? So you could read this: the doorbell at the dog shelter rang. That only means one of two things. I'm intrigued now. I want to read the next line. And it's not a huge paragraph, so I will read it. So using spacing like this is the best way to start writing any of your content. If you're writing newsletters, if you're posting on social media, this is the future. No more paragraphs. Just please get rid of them. Nobody is reading them. They need spaces. No more than 2 sentences max will go into any line that I write anywhere because nobody wants to read it these days. So that's a huge tip there. So I want to show you guys a few profiles that I've really liked. I'll demo mine first for you guys. You can see I have a premium profile. So this is because some people are like, well, I work with two organizations or I do different stuff. Cool. I have two profiles. I have Go Big to Give Big, which is the for-profits that we help and support with, and then I have my Impact Circle, which is the nonprofits that I support and help with. So diversify your fundraising strategies. Then you guys can see here, helping business owners give more and nonprofits receive more. I also have a little bit about what I do. Devoted husband, golf addict. I love my golf. And I have a little bit of a setup here where you can visit my website, things like that. I'm not going to go through exactly how to edit page by page. You guys can literally put it into ChatGPT, Google it, and figure it out. You can see my about section here. Very well spaced. I've built three successful startups and learned a few things along the way, but the biggest lesson had nothing to do with revenue, exits, or growth charts. Again, I'm attracting them in so that when you come to my page, look at this on the about section. I made it so that when you get to my about section, it's like it happened while I was in Mexico, ... It makes you want to see more because you want to understand and read more. Okay. This is my featured section. We've built a successful business. Now time to build a legacy. Or if you're interested in grabbing something, look at this. Boom. It takes you right to one of our courses that we have. So that's how we're able to drive a lot of leads and move people to our businesses and organizations. So if you want, drive them to your space. And then you can see my content here. All my content is very similar in nature, but you can see, right? Very easily spaced, very easy to read, a lot of tags, a lot of fun. And I like to share this. Like, these are my normal impressions, guys. So don't think that, I have 2,500 followers or so. Getting 1,000 impressions is somewhat decent for me. So, or pretty normal for me. So I can show you all my posts here. You can see some of my impressions. I'm a complete open book. Look, here's 693. I got 30 likes and 6 comments, which is more than this one, but this one got more impressions. LinkedIn is very weird for the content right now. So please don't stress about how many impressions you get and how many likes. It is such a mess right now. Nobody knows. Mario can make one post and he'll get like 100,000 impressions. He can make that same post a few days later and he might have literally 10,000 impressions and he has 55,000 followers. So just be aware, guys. Don't use these metrics as stuff. So I was going to show you Josie's profile here. This was somebody that came through our boot camp. She adjusted her whole top thing here. Is changing the story of homelessness. So you can see here she's got Shelter the Homeless there. She's got a good tagline. She's got a really good top section here. Now, this is a big secret I'm going to show you guys as I go through this. The first 40 or 50 characters here are what are going to show up everywhere that you go on LinkedIn. Look at down here. When I go to her posts, look what shows up right here. Mobilizing generosity to end homelessness. So that is real estate that you guys get to use. If you just put founder or executive director at this place, people don't know what that is. If you just say I'm the executive director of what is her organization is Shelter the Homeless. So if she just had executive director at Shelter the Homeless, people might not know what shelter that is. But when she says mobilizing generosity to end homelessness, I have a little bit better understanding of what she does, especially if your nonprofit has a little bit more of a vague name. Okay. So I am going to, if people are okay with it, I hope everyone's okay. If you put your LinkedIn chat, I'm assuming you're okay with people clicking on stuff. So here's Courtney Collins. Welcome to the spotlight, Courtney. When I come to your page, the first thing I see is that I don't know what you do. This is the most important real estate of anything on your LinkedIn page is your headline here, or your banner here. I don't know anything. Whereas if I go to Josie's and I go to her page, I know exactly what she does. She is helping homelessness in Utah. So the ability to get somebody recognized right away from there is really important. Then we have a little bit here where it says 40 under 40, operations and program development, nonprofit networking, creative partnerships. So what I might look at in here is that when I looked at those first 40 characters, when you post content, this is all I see this goes anywhere. Like I can even show you on here when somebody comments below it. See, Dana's here. See, it says Principal Communications Analyst, Advertising Regulation. I don't know what she does. And same for you, Courtney, when I look at your thing, it says 40 under 40, operations and program development, but I don't know exactly what you do. So when you're going and liking and commenting, and even on the side here, see all these people's names, it's like social entrepreneur, founder, and CEO of this kind of stuff. So everywhere you go on LinkedIn, those first 40 characters are shown everywhere. So just be aware of that on what you do. Your about section doesn't look very strong. It looks similar to what Tim's was at the very beginning, where it says what you specialize in. But I want to learn about what you do and who you are, and give me like a tagline or give me something up top. Not a tagline, what's the word I'm looking for? An attractive headline. It's not the right word that's in my head right now, but something that engages me. Look at Josie's here. Look at hers. I had everything going for me, and my mental illness still almost killed me. I was building a carefree life. I lived when schizoaffective disorder pulled me into the world, and I didn't know. And then she writes about that and how that got her into her organization and what she's doing. So that would be my support there for you, Courtney, is rewriting your about section, sharing about what you do. Because at this point coming through, I see that you're a book fairies, but I don't know a single thing about book fairies on here. It doesn't mention anything in there. And then I come down here and I start seeing about some of your posts. If you guys are looking for an engagement, I typically think posting twice a week is really incredible. If you can do that, it's very easy to just kind of get through and try and write 2 posts a week. That seems to be really good. This was a really good collab that you did, Courtney, where it's like you mentioned another business and for supporting and resharing from your business. This is great. I would just continue to encourage you to write more singular posts without reshares of your organization. But you do a good job of writing a comment above, so that's okay. That's okay there. And then the last thing is, you don't have a featured section, which, guys, you can add. There's a little edit on my page. Oops. I'll show you quickly. On here, there's a little thing here that says add profile section. You can add anything you want in there. So that's where you find it, and that's where you go. This is recorded. You can go back and look for it in that way. So add a featured section with your website. And then the last thing, guys, and then I'll get off my soapbox and start moving on, is inside here where it says you're an associate executive director. See how there's no context here? It doesn't say anything. When I like to use Josie because she just did a really good job of setting her page up. When I go down here, see how she took the time to fill this out? What this does is allows people to understand what her role is there. So this is where I talk about my role and what I'm doing. So leading private fundraising strategies for 8 million annual budget. She's highlighted, what she's done there and some of the other stuff. So take the time to fill out a little bit of this section to share about what you do. It's really easy for you to make that happen. Okay. So that's the one simple profile audit. I'm going to go through some more presentation because I want to make sure I get to it all. And then I'll maybe hop through and do some more a little bit later on. But just wanted to give that little shout out there. Courtney, if you do those few things, change your banner, rewrite something at the front here that mentions book fairies. So we help books get into more places. I know nothing about what you do, but that's what I would do there. And then change your about section, share a story. The simple thing about your about section I ask is, what got you into this industry? Like, what was the thing that triggered you to want to get into the nonprofit sector? And then why did you choose book fairies? And then put that in a story that you would share with somebody to explain to them if they asked, why did you get started? Okay. Add a featured section, tune up your content a tiny bit. It's just been 4 weeks since you've posted. I want to see a post every week at the minimum, and then add your experience down below here. Cool. Hope that helps, at least on that little bit. Okay, so that's a quick profile audit. I could spend days. I mean, there's probably 1,000 people in here that put their profile audits. Well, not 1,000, but a lot. And that's what we can do. So finding funders using LinkedIn. This is where I want to get into the fun stuff. So like, boom, profile set up. It is a landing page. It's ready to go. Now we're going to go start finding some funders. So write this down, please. Long-term relationships will always yield a higher return than a single donation. So instead of me trying to go out and fundraise and burning relationships by trying to get a few $1,000s from people, I want to go build relationships with them where I can see a longer time ROI with them. The number one thing that I heard from the businesses that I was partnering them with the nonprofits was that we feel like an ATM to the nonprofit sector because they weren't building relationships. They never heard about their impact. The nonprofits only needed money at this moment. And we're like, hey, we need money now. Can you donate to us? And they would send the money and then they would never hear from them again. I'm not joking. That's one of the biggest problems that I heard in the for-profit sector is they say they feel like an ATM to the nonprofit sector. Change that and everything will change for you in your fundraising. Okay. LinkedIn. It's the only platform that you can search for specific details. You can search for job titles, company size, specific locations, keywords, so many incredible things. This is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It's a paid platform. If you want to pay for it, I'm going to show you the free stuff as well. But look, I can search up youth education. I can search company headcount size. If you want to go for a larger organization and not go for mom and pop stuff, you can do that. If you want to look up job titles, if I were to go search CEOs, owners, CSR managers, presidents in Georgia that have posted on LinkedIn, I can go and find all these really cool people. Look at all these CEOs of We Create Tech, CEO of Hope Enterprises, CEO of this career path, founder and CEO of, I think this is actually a nonprofit or something, but you guys can see I can find organizations, companies, and CEOs. There's zero other platforms that you can do that with. You can find unlimited leads. Look, I just changed it from Georgia to United States down here, and I have over 4,000 leads. If I went to any nonprofit and said, I got 4,000 leads for you of business owners that are the actual like CEO owner themselves of companies that had more than 11 employees, they would drool for that access. Well, it's right here. I literally have it for you and I can search it in the matter of seconds and get it for you. You can use the free search in the top bar of LinkedIn. You can literally put CSR managers and go and find CSR managers. Okay, super easy to find and put into here and make happen. So you can put the search in, you can search for United States, you can search for people, and you can get anything you need to know. So I'll show you that right now. Let me just see here what's my next slide at? Cool. So how do we search? In the chat box, I want somebody to put in what industry has donated to you the most. So let's just say, for example, if you run something to do with pets, you might say like, hey, we find that vet clinics or veterinarians or Petcos or something would be good donors for us. Okay. If you are maybe in a sector where you found that real estate people or finance people are donating to you. If you go and build homes, if you're Habitat for Humanity, construction workers are probably a really good donor to you. So in the chat, I want you to put in who are the best donors for you that we can go find. If you could just draw up like this person would write me the best check because they're in this industry and they do these kinds of things. Let's go and search for them. So somebody said finance and real estate. So let's go look up. So Amy Sigona, can you in the chat let me know where you live? I'm going to show you something really cool here. Real estate agents. Amy Sigona, if you want to put in the chat where you live. So you guys, you can search anything here. Click on this word here, says people. Cool, New York City area. So then once I type people, I can go to location and I can search for United States, or I can go to New York City. Let's just go to New York, New York. Now this is going to bring me so many insane results. If I had time, I'd go very specific and go a lot deeper. But I can go look up people that are in New York City that are real estate agents. And I might just do something like this. If you put the Boolean rules apply here, so then it'll only search real estate agent. But here's all the real estate agents in New York City. There's probably a bazillion of them that I can go and find for you. So again, if your ideal people were real estate agents, or maybe they're a real estate investor. We love investors because they typically like to write checks. Here's all the real estate investors in New York City. What a cool opportunity. Or I can search for all this different stuff here on the side. There is a filters button on the side here. I can search for first, second, third connections. I can search for people that work at EXP, Keller Williams, self-employed. Maybe they follow somebody. Maybe they follow Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets as somebody that I want to connect with. Maybe I see what their past company was, where they worked at JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley. Maybe there's an alumni. Maybe they went to NYU. Maybe there's the industries I can find is I can actually search specific to real estate or different things. Maybe I can do this. The other cool thing is that there's just keywords down here where I can search for the title. So I'll find somebody now that if I go to the side, somebody is looking up pharmaceuticals. Cool. Let me see what happens here. So pharmaceuticals, I don't know what that means, but we're gonna see what happens here. So I typed pharmaceuticals, and then in here I'm gonna go type in owner. So these people, in some capacities, are. Oops, I don't know why that didn't work. Pharmaceuticals search, and then give me a filter of owner. Show results. So now these are people that probably own some sort of pharmaceuticals in New York City. Okay. They're in this sector. All I'm trying to show you guys is that I can go and find anybody that I want in here for you. Okay. And then what you do is once you get in here, you send them a connection request, add a note. Hey, Alia, would love to connect and hear more about your organization and what you are up to. I can then go and send a message and hit send. Now I'm connected to Oya, and eventually your DMs start looking like this. Mine's out of control right now because we've been doing some outreach if it loads. And you guys can see like in just since January, look how many conversations I'm in. Like, what would that do for your organization if you could get your inbox to be in this many conversations in 1 month? Okay. I don't even know how many this is, but this is a ton of connections and conversations that we've been in. So that's what I want your inbox to look like. I want it to look like this, where it's like, here's all these. I bet you some of you are on this call that are adding me right now. Hey, look at this guy. Elijah, you did a good job here. See how this connection request showed up? I'm in your LinkedIn webinar right now, reaching out to connect. Thanks for the information. Beautiful message. This is going to make me say yes. Josie, you might have just added me because I see that we're friends with a Cerrone group here. If you don't put a connection request there, I don't get this message. It's less attractive. The thing that we talked about is circling it all back before I end quickly here is when I circle back, Elijah sends me a connection request. Look what the first thing I'm going to do is. I'm going to click his page. All of a sudden, I want to learn about him. So when you start sending connection requests out to people, we search them, we send them connection requests. The first thing they do takes us back to step one. What does your page look like? Leading strategy, aligned systems, honoring people. I want to know what your organization is. I need to know what you're doing. You're an executive leader. Let me know what your organization is. Tell me. I should be able to come into this and know right away. Whoa, Elijah, you're in Victoria? Insane. Super stoked that you are here. It's from my hometown. That's where I live right now. So very, very cool. And then I'll just continue. Again, break this up, your about section, into different spaces. Your content looks like you're posting once a week and doing some good shares. That looks pretty good. But see here, you're an executive director for this org. I want to see all of this at the very top. So as soon as I come to your page, I know what you do. So that's kind of my thought process there around that. So for the search, just to recap, guys, you can search anything you want in the top here. You can see that I do quite a few searches here as just helping one organization that helps cancer survivors. So we looked up cancer survivors that, again, I'm walking you through. Click people, click locations. I'll just choose United States. And then we just started going through, and these were all cancer survivors. And then I'm like, why don't we look up people that are founders? Okay. So now these are people that have founded something, typically in their companies of some sorts. So it's founder of. That usually means they're a business founder. Usually means they have capital and they usually have survived in this space. They've gone through some sort of cancer survivor. So that is why it's beautiful. If you're a cancer society nonprofit, we can go and find people that are already interested in having conversations with you. Let me just pull back down this stuff here. Um, uh, is all who are the nonprofit. Cool. I hope this is helpful, guys. That's like the highest overview of what I can do. And I have a million testimonials of what we do. So don't just take our word for it. Like, here's a few testimonials. Like, Trevor Morin came through. If you go and look up his profile, I like to just show them. Like, these are just people that came through. I run a boot camp if you guys are interested. That's how we help people. It's a 4-week intensive boot camp. I don't know why I can't search. Oh, because I'm in all this stuff. If I go back to here, we run a 4-week boot camp where we teach you everything that you need to know about LinkedIn. I don't know why Trevor Morin isn't showing up on my thing. Oh, duh, because I'm typing Trevor, not Terry. Here we go. Sorry for the blip, guys. Terry Morin, there we go. So again, you can see his profile set up here. Vets boats, changing veterans one sale at a time, delivering Salem programs to veterans. There it is. That's what it looks like. So he said, once I learned how to write content and get my profile set up, a 350% growth in his content engagement. Trisha Montgomery, she came through. She helps pets get early cancer detection. We paired her with a bunch of veterinarians and pet supply companies, and she found a $30,000 corporate sponsorship in her first 60 days. And Josie, who I showed you guys, sent 57 messages in one day and got 21 people to respond. So it's really cool what we're able to do. We use LinkedIn to help you increase your donations and awareness. It's a 4-week bootcamp. We start on March 3rd. If you're interested, you can use the coupon code Resource Hub. This is available all the time for anyone at the Resource Hub. And you get $250 off our bootcamp. It's $750, so it makes it $500. I'm not here to sell anything. I'm just here to support nonprofits and help them get in. We normally charge the business sector like $2,500 to come through our boot camps. We just do it for $500 for the nonprofit sector because we absolutely love it. Here's some stuff about what we do. We help you create a profile. We build engaging content. We find you your ideal donors, and we help you book more calls. I think somebody's posted it in the chat a few times about what we do. But for the next 10 minutes or so, I'm just here to serve. I just want to help you guys and deliver so much value that you feel like you're like, man, I want to just be in this circle. I want to hang out and get around them. Then cool, join our bootcamp. If you don't want to, we give away so much free resources on our LinkedIn pages. I'm going to put my business partners in the chat as well. Mario Hernandez, absolutely one of the most impact-driven leaders on LinkedIn. I just put his link into the webinar chat. But in the chat, with paid, okay, I see a few questions here. Kelly, if you just want to, if I missed any questions, can you just put them back in here? But do we need to get maximum out of LinkedIn for fundraising with paid or free accounts? If paid, which package? Amazing, guys. I'm going to show you a really cool secret here on LinkedIn specifically, but LinkedIn has a nonprofit discount. But watch this. If I go in here and type LinkedIn for nonprofit discount, boom, 75% off of a paid premium subscription for LinkedIn. The benefits are that you can send more connection requests. You can have a few more features inside of your stuff, like a button here and some other things of there. You can do a multi-slide thing. You can see Mario has a different slide up top as well. But the most thing is that if you don't have a paid connection, you can only send, I think, up to 20 connection requests a week. If you have a paid subscription, you can send up to 200. And you also get the Sales Navigator, which is that search I showed you. I don't want to go deep into it, but you get this ability to search on a million different things here. So, and I'm just going to give you guys a secret here. Any program, platform, or thing that you use, you should look up on nonprofit. So Fathom is a video recording that I use. So all of my calls are recorded through Fathom. It's like an AI assistant. Fathom for nonprofits. And if I get down here, I found that Fathom had a nonprofit section. I don't know exactly where it is, but it has somewhere in here. There it is for their nonprofits. They have a whole section in here for it. So what I'm trying to show you guys is that you can actually go through and there it is for nonprofits. So right here, this is Fathom for nonprofits. I can go and apply. They give 10 free programs away to your organization. So take whatever program you use, Google it and type in nonprofit. I just saved you literally probably thousands of dollars because every platform has a nonprofit discount of some capacity. So look into that. It's very cool. You mentioned a featured section. How do you create a featured section? I think I showed you that earlier. Go into that main thing here where it says add a section, click add a featured section. I just can't go through step by step on everything. Jenna, I am physically located in Canada, but most of the work I do is down in America. I typically help nonprofits in America. I do the work, but I've helped nonprofits in Africa, UK, Australia, basically down in the South America. We've helped quite a few down there because that's where my business partner's from. So that's a lot of really cool stuff there. How do you access that extra filter you're using to search on the top bar? Sometimes, just so you guys know, on the search bar here, the extra filters here, I don't know what LinkedIn is doing. Sometimes this is not showing up on people's profiles. If it doesn't, you can just search it up here. Cancer survivor and founder. So it'll do the exact same thing. So it'll show me all the founders of that kind of stuff. So you can work on that. You can just use and then put it up there as well. So that's another way you can do it. Is that discount for a personal page or a company page? The discount ends up being for your personal page, which is what you want. You don't want your discount for your business page. You want it for your personal page. Marty, thank you, Marty, for jumping in and talked about how the bootcamp helped him. Guys, the bootcamp's amazing. It's 4 weeks of complete access to me where you come out with a completely different profile. Most people are getting their complete money back in fundraising and going and finding partnerships. And if you don't like the program, we offer like a 200% guarantee. I'll just show you that here. This is where it'll take you guys if you're interested. You can go down here and it says our next calls are the 3rd, 5th, 10th, 12th. And you can book now. Inside here, we offer a 200% money back guarantee. We are not here to try and take advantage of the nonprofit sector. We sell this for a lot more to businesses. We just love helping the nonprofit sector. If you don't find value in it and you go through the program and do everything you're supposed to, then we'll just refund you and rewrite a check for your organization for more than you put in. So we'll actually write you a check back for $1,500 because we're that confident that this works because of the testimonials that we have. And if you go through this thing onto the second page, it asks you for your coupon code. You can put in Resource Hub and it will take you to there. So that's really cool. Is your bootcamp scheduled or asynchronous? So our bootcamp is scheduled. We run them as cohorts. And so this is our next one. I think our next one's going to be, we do them like every other month. We also have a course, if you guys are interested, that you can go through. It's just full video training. So basically I've created whatever it is. I think it's like 30 or so videos, but it's got step-by-step everything inside of how to do it. We charge $297 for that one, for the complete virtual one. There is no things. If you sign up for our bootcamp, you get the course as part of it. So you get this full 33 video training course as part of the bootcamp. So you can also get that as well. Cool. Somebody else is on Vancouver Island. Jen, amazing. Completely different profile, so much better, so much more engaging. Marty, amazing. So I think I answered most of the question, guys. That's like, today my goal is to just expose you to the opportunity of what LinkedIn is. And if you're interested in getting more serious about in fundraising, we probably, in every one of our cohorts, like one of our last testimonials, a lady said somebody came in and she came into our boot camp. She reached out, started writing content. That's all she did. Somebody donated $1,000, not friends, not connected. She followed up with them and said, "Hey, I love what you're doing. Can we hop on a call?" They got on a call and she wrote a $15,000 check just from this person rewriting their content to be more engaging. They got a random follower to donate $1,000 to get them in the door. She followed up with them with a call and then closed a $15,000 deal. So that's really what it's all about, is using LinkedIn that way and getting involved. So um, I love supporting. I love helping. I did this presentation for the Nonprofit Resource Hub to all of their associates to help them as well. I think LinkedIn is the biggest underrated opportunity, and I want to help you all get set up on it, get it using. And inside of our program, we actually walk you through step-by-step video training of how to build your banner, how to build your about, completely done for you on what it looks like. So that's what my mission is. Any other questions before I head out, guys? If you enjoyed the webinar, I also love just getting some good feedback. I pour my heart and soul into helping this industry. If you want to put in the chat that you found some value in it or that you enjoyed it, that always makes me feel really good. Cool. Thank you guys for the support. If you need anything, you can always find me on the Nonprofit Resource Hub. I'm always available. You can find me on LinkedIn. If you have questions about joining our bootcamp, I'm not here to do like, you have to run to the back of the room and it's only available for the next 4 people that sign up. Just send me a message on LinkedIn and I'll hop on a call and walk you through what it is. I'm more than happy to help you with that kind of stuff. At the very least, leaving today, I hope you guys feel excited about the opportunity that's on LinkedIn for fundraising, because it is the best place for you to go meet business owners, get connected, and make some stuff happen. So thank you all. If I can do anything, find me on LinkedIn and let me know.